Reaping the rewards of our harvest this week isn't actually about these guys, but it is about our onions. So back in the springtime, I actually put out my onion sets into the ground, and I said at the time that they are really Goldilocks. They don't like it too hot, too cold, too wet, too dry. And I'll be honest with you, my onions which I set in my plot actually got flooded, which means that I have got some onions, but they are not particularly brilliant. However, over here at the community plot, I also sowed some other onions, and I have to say that they have fared really, really well. Now, before you pull up your onions, what you really need to be doing is actually starting to fold down your stems. If you haven't done that already and they're quite solid, then actually what you may find is they are about to go to seed. Now, if you have got onions which have gone to seed, you can still pull those up. The only difference is they won't keep. So one thing that you can be doing with those ones is actually chop it up, get rid of that really hard core in the middle, and you're going to have to freeze them or use them straight away. However, they are a part of a trinity, and onions are just about in everything that we cook when we're thinking about our savouries, whether it is actually dishes for main meals, for starters, or even for chutneys as well, which we may be doing an awful lot of at this time of year as well. Now, very simply with the onions, once you've actually got them folded over, which is going to help them to sort of harden off, because this is no dig, all I'm going to do is just literally pull it out the ground, and this one is particularly amazing. Now, all I need to do with this next is I'm just going to clear off all the mud at the bottom, chop off a little bit of that root, and then you can just leave them somewhere to dry. Now again, that's really important because you might find that this is actually a little bit soggy around the stem area, and actually you don't want it to go moldy, and what you're trying to do is almost cure them so that they are ready to store. Now, once you've actually got them dried off, of course you can plait them if you're really ambitious, or if you ever see me wearing skirts around, don't be afraid to ask if I'm wearing these, because it's actually very unlikely that I will be wearing tights, because quite often a really good way to store your onions is actually by putting them in tights and hanging them up. So there's a nice old pair that actually I haven't even worn. So onions, really, really easy to harvest, quite easy to store. Make sure that they are somewhere dry, not in direct sunlight, because you don't want them to bake, so don't store them to dry off in a greenhouse. And if you have had some which have actually gone to flower, maybe leave those in a little bit longer, because actually what you're going to be able to do is gather some more of those all important seeds, and you can grow your onions from seeds next year, or maybe just stick with your sets.